I work my whole life. I don't apologize to take care of my family. And I refuse to be a fool. Dancing on the string held by all those big shots. I work my whole life. I don't apologize to take care of my family. And I refuse to be a fool. Dancing on the string held by all those big shots.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Okay. Jeez. Struggle. We made it. Sort of. Did we? God, do I even have everything on? Okay, lights, camera, action. No, in 48 seconds. Action in 48 seconds. It's much wordier. Much wordier. Okay, it's also toasty in here. What am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting something. I know I am. I know I'm missing something. Also, Spider, thank you for the follow. What the heck? Also, Bell, thank you for the gifted. What the? Hello? Please? What is happening? What is happening? What is... Am struggle to keep up. Okay, there's a lot going on, and my lurks aren't current. Because of course they're not. That is... crazy. That is crazy. Hello, greetings. Salutations all. How you doing? I have to get a drink here in a second, because I gotta raise a glass to you lovely lot. I gotta do it. I gotta make sure we're taking care of our people first, though. Gotta do it. Friends before frames. You guys already know. You already know how seriously we take this business. This humaning thing. Alright. Wow. Tonight is gonna be a tonight's gonna be an interesting night, you guys. Tonight's gonna be an interesting night. I'm gonna struggle. Yes, I am. Because it's gonna be a lot. Tonight's gonna be a lot. It's good to see you guys. Welcome in. Welcome. Hi, Mel. Hello. Dragon Baby, welcome on in. Guts, me jam. Good to see you. Apparently my message went out longer ago than I realized. Hurt message. What message? What message? I don't know. Hop ride's here. Baby, let's go. Oh, Valk's here. Hi, Val. Kaisem. Hello. I'm glad you guys are getting subs. Very excited. Oh, Hot Bride got this sub. Wow. That is hilarious. Gotta put some food together. Ask but listening. Very well. Doc, good to see you, my friend. Welcome on in, sir. Welcome. Welcome. And Spider, again, thank you for the follow. It means an awful lot. I take follows quite seriously. I aim to earn it. Between the silly and the serious, I aim to earn it. An awful heckin' lot. You remember the aggressive pinstripes? Oh yeah, I did say that I was gonna do that. Okay, I thought I had this. That's funny. I had a memory in my... Okay, that was it. That wasn't just a random dream. Yes, I did remember the aggressive pinstripes. I did. Oh, it's Gale. Oh, we get to do this. Boom! We have a command for Gale now. T freaking he. Ha! We get to do a command because Gale is one of them cool kids who makes the wheels on this bus go around. It's crazy. Thank you for calling out the good doctor, Mel. I appreciate it like that. Look at that. Get to call him out. Big fan. Very exciting stuff. Very exciting stuff indeed. Now, I am... Where is this? I wonder why that command is do its thing like this. Dragon BB, I'm glad to hear that your mom is out of the hospital. That is terribly exciting. Very exciting. Okay. Gang. Whew. We're gonna get good drink lined up. We'll see who all shows. Tonight's a scary night. Takes courage to be here tonight. So I'm glad to have you guys in. Okay. And because it is a special night, I will be having a special pour. Yes, indeed. We busting out the port. Charlotte, you guys. One of my favorites. One of my go-tos. If I have my druthers, if there's only a couple bottles that I can reach for in the store, this is gonna be one of them. Good old port Charlotte. So, yeah, this is what I'm having. An ideal talk. We don't always get there. An ideal talk, it has three components, you guys. A good drink, good smoke, and a good company. We get to have the first. Let's kick out the first here. A good drink. By all means, let me know what it is in chat that you are partaking of. It needn't be alcoholic if you don't want to, but let me know what you got. If it is, if it's coffee, if it's tea, if it's water. You tell me, okay? Whilst I get a pour, I'll get you guys a little bit of bottle asthma here, and then we'll jump into some scary stuff. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Au contraire, mon frère. This one is easy. As the philosopher S. Crowder once said, don't be a whore. Huh? I don't remember. I don't remember the... Is this, did I say something? Is there a reference? I don't know the reference. I followed you here. Olin! Really? I'm grateful, oh. Very good follow. You stalked me here? That's crazy. Good to have you, my dude. Good to have you indeed. All right, let's see here. A little bit of bottle asthma. Just a little bottle asthma. We're going, baby. Let them out there. Dirty Mountain Dew. Ah, cream soda dew. Okay. We got our pour. We're gonna go a little generous to start. Because I want to. Because I want to. Also, was there eye drop content? I'm pretty sure I like saw and then just like passed from my consciousness eye drop content. No? No eye drop content. Okay, nope. All right, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. We crushed it. We're locked in. So, gang. Fizzy water. Okay, okay. Valk's got the fizzy water. Valk's got the fizzy water. There was? Okay, am I crazy? Oh, it was in a different scene. Oh, yeah, my chat got reset. My chat got reset. I like broke something in my chat. So I messed with it today. And I even thought to myself as I said it today, as I was messing with things, like, don't touch this. Don't touch this today. Of all the days, don't touch this. Figure this out later. But okay, you got a disappointment pack in there and a blinker fluid. Okay, I see it now. I see it now. Okay. I got you. Clackety clack. 4 guts. Boom. Clackety clack. Woo! And I drop content. Okay. Let's see if I can do this without knocking things over. Let's give it a shot. Give it the old college try. I was trying to make things funny. What now? Trying to make things funny before the series. I'm on like one brain cell. Oh, I see. Oh, you're saying that's the the teardown for the talk tonight? You just summarized the whole talk? Ha! I got it now. I was like, did I miss something? I'm missing things in chat because I broke things. I'm sorry, I broke things. This is my fault. This is my doing. Hey, it's man, oh man. Man, oh man. Current cup. Coconut caramel crunch K-cup coffee. My dude, I swear. Every single heckin' time. Doc has the weirdest assortment of coffees, you guys. Can't keep up. Can't keep up with it. It's also on cooldown, because I got that also. That's right. I got you, Guts. It's in there. It's locked in, baby. Thumper! Hiya, Thump. Chef's kiss for the outfit. Wow, I've completed reading 1,181 chapters of One Piece in night. I read the newest chapter that dropped today. That is, wild, Thump. Wild. I was actually thinking of that earlier because I wrote a thing about that. Gang, it's a very good pleasure to have you guys in. Very good pleasure to have you in for this thing, this most difficult of things that we are here embarked upon. Hope I did a good job. Putting all this together. We'll see soon enough, huh? We'll see soon enough. Alright. Each week I'm humbled. I get to bring one element, perhaps two, and the third I come empty-handed each week. And that's good company, gang. So on that I must rely. For that I must rely on you guys, wholly and solely. So it's not lost on me that you could be spending your Friday night any old where doing any old thing, but here you are, and that's a remarkable thing indeed. And so it's to you, that incredible caliber of human, that I get to raise my first glass to. Glad to have you in. Glad to have you be a part of this thing. Cheers to you. Yep. Frickin' delicious. Friggin' delicious. Also, I forgot to eat today, so I may get hammered. I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. The Dirty Dew is delicious and much smoother than original Dew. What did you say Dirty Dew was? How did you describe this? Mountain Dew cream soda dew? So it's cream soda mixed with Mountain Dew? Or like you put heavy cream in Mountain Dew? Because that one terrifies me. I hope that that's not a thing. I am very scared. This is, Mama Guts enjoyed it when she tried it. Yeah, I'm traumatized. 29 years, almost 30 years of content. Read in 9 weeks. Commitment and dedication. That's a lot. That is a long, that's been at 29, that's crazy. 30 years for One Piece? Dude. Wild. Absolutely wild. But yes, thank you for dropping all the links, Mel. And yeah, thanks everybody who makes this possible. Like I said, we got to call out Doc and we got to call out Gail. And there are others too. The public patrons in particular. Folks that have sacrificed to make this possible. Whatever good comes from this project, from tonight, from what we're doing, and from where all we're going from here is only possible because you guys sacrificed to make it so. This isn't for nothing. This company does not yet break even. This company still loses money. So it's someday, I would like for this thing to just to break even at our $0 here. It'd be really cool if this could be like a sustainable project, but we're not at sustainable. So I'm grateful to all of you who make this happen. In particular to the public patrons again: Aki, Leanne, Gail, Goose, Kira, Abby, Tink, Helly, May, Karma, Pencil, Retro, Rick, Ryan, Mouse, Trotsky, Pell, CJ number 1, and Zin. Cream soda and original Mountain Dew. All right, that's the less of two evils. The lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils. It's true. It's true. So, yeah. And the Festa. Yeah, we got the Festa tomorrow, you guys. Tomorrow, baby. It's a big day. It's going to be a big day. Now, some of you may be wondering, how the heck are we supposed to have an all-day block party? Everybody's got schedules that are all this way and that way. And that's fine. Some of you haven't done it before. You know, listen. You show up for a little bit, hang out for a little bit. You come and go as you please, okay? The party's going to be ongoing all day long. All right, you can come and go whenever. You want to come around for breakfast time, go do work, whatever, and then come back, hang out for a spell. You do you, baby, because that's precisely what I'm going to be doing. I am going to be streaming at my usual times tomorrow. So I will be streaming in the Just Chatting, hanging out, okay? And I will get to point people over to the block party and be like, hello, go say hi. And then I will be joining the CNR that I've got a part of, and then after that I get to hang out in the block party the whole time, and then there's an evening stream. So yeah, I'll be spending a goodly chunk of the day with many of you guys, and then after the stream, back to the block party for me. I'm intending to finish Bramble tomorrow night, but we'll see. It appears to be working now. I used my time during the last Festa, some of it, to catch back up to where I was, so I ought to be able to continue with that. And maybe finish it. I have no idea how much of the game is left. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's not that close. Maybe I'm not near the end. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. We're gonna find out to give us. Why is my nose so itchy? Falling apart. It's ridiculous. Panda! Are you thinking inside or out of the box? Right now? Out of the box. Indeed. Indeed, Panda. How about you? How you doing? And it pertains to whom? That's the question. That is the question. It's just vanilla Dew. Better than you would expect. Nah, sounds terrifying, Guts. Absolutely terrifying. July 97. One Piece released for the first time. Just a fun fact. 97, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Today I learned. Always learning things. Always learning things. Radiant! Well. It's a very good pleasure to have you in. I won't say the name I now know that you respond to. I'm going to stick with Radiant. See, this is easy for me. Easy for me because I'm establishing a new habit, Radiant. I don't gotta do what Troy and the rest of them are. Gotta do the mental gymnastics to flip the script. And I just gonna say Radiant. It's good to have you in. Welcome. Gang, we got to meet Radiant last night. Proper like sort of last night. And so now we've got Radiant to be a part of this thing over from, you guys know Castor Troy, that lovely gem of a human, except for when he gets me into puff lobbies and gets me wiped and I lose all my stuff. Except for that! Radiant, indeed. It's a pleasure to welcome you, and I'm grateful for the follow. It means an awful heckin' lot. I aim to earn it. Like I told you last night, I take follows quite seriously. And between the silly and the serious around here, I hope that I can earn that follow and your bandwidth. And for those of you for whom I have not yet earned your follow, I hope to. I hope to with tonight. I hope to with the material that I have painstakingly prepared and slaved away at for a long heckin' time, trying to get everything ready for you guys and updated. Because, boy, there's a lot to say. Let me tell you, I had to chop out a lot of stuff. I'm thinking at the current rate that singleness will be a 3-part. It'll be in 3 parts. I am hopeful that I can have it down to that. 3 parts instead of 4 or 5. It's gonna be a lot, you guys. We're covering a lot. So tonight I'm gonna be schmoovin'. Got some ground to cover, baby. First, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the ways that all this happens, the way that all this is made possible, you guys, and that the best way to support this project, public patron support through Rumble, through Coffee, through Patreon. I'm grateful to everybody who does those things. If you guys want to support this project, if you've decided that it's worth your bandwidth, worth your time, worth your effort, then yeah, I'm multi-streaming. I'm live on Rumble, Twitch, and YouTube simultaneously right now. We need more subscribers on YouTube if I'm ever going to get monetized on stupid YouTube. They run ads on your content no matter what. You just don't see a dime until you're monetized. It's really stupid. But that's not so with Rumble. So Rumble, I get compensated. I get paid literally for you guys just watching the channel, and I'm grateful for that. Thank you guys for everybody who's had a second tab open, for sure. All of you with tabs on Twitch and on Rumble helps get us in front of more eyeballs. So thank you guys for doing that. That is no small thing. I don't take the bandwidth or the headache for granted. Some of you are just like, I'm on 3 platforms. You're very extra, and I'm grateful and a half for you. But the best way to support this project is through the Rumble Premium. If you want to skip the ads all over the entire platform, and if you want to get behind the paywall of every creator who paywalls their content, including me, which I will be doing on Tuesday in it, and with some other projects later this month, that's all Rumble Premium type stuffs. And so, if you're interested in signing up, I'm going to put a discount code on the screen right here. There's going to be a QR code on the screen here shortly. So, yeah, take advantage if you are at all interested in signing up. And, yeah, that's the best way to do this thing. Ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm ready. This whole project is funded by viewers like you, folks who have voted with their wallets and sacrificed to give this thing a shot at a future. If you're not already a member, you click that button to sign up. $99 a year for the discounted rate, or $9.99 a month if you don't want to go for the annual just yet. You get the entire experience ad-free, plus access to exclusive content not just on this channel, but on every channel on Rumble. It's also one of the best options to support this channel and my work. So if I've been a value add to your life, consider joining up today using that link below. Indeed. Okay. It's time to get into it, gang. It's time to get into it. All right, I gotta lock down raids. Almost forgot. Gotta lock down raids. That would have been embarrassing. That would have been embarrassing. We do not want that. Settings, stream. It's so easy to support you. I'm glad because I'm lazy. I swear. Oh. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate you. Jeez. Absolutely feral. 20 bumps. Mel with the gifted. We got the follows in here, and now O with a 20 bomb. My guy, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I appreciate it. I really hope that I can earn it. I really hope that I can make this something that's worthy of you, my friend. Thank you. Troublemaker. You troublemakers out there. Alright. I gotta disable raids on Rumble as well. Enable. Save. Alright. Alrighty. All that's left then is our little banner, baby. Little banner. Oh boy. Okay. You do that. I noticed Stream Elements pulled its head out. Alerts seem to be working again on the Twitch side. That was weird that didn't work on Tuesday in it. Very, very odd night, that. Oi. Let me see here. JoJo's been going for longer. 87? What? Jeez, that's nuts guts. Nuts guts, I says. Supported by viewers like you. Unlike PBS. That's right, you pay even if you don't watch. That is correct, Caleb. It's good to see you. That's right. Unlike PBS, viewers like you. And by viewers like you, they mean taxpayers because they're massively government subsidized. So, yeah. Yeah, crazy. No, I'm grateful for all of you guys' sacrifices. Thank you for dropping all the links. Glad I found you on Rumble originally. Grateful for it, Radiant. Grateful for it indeed. Banner raids? Oh, banner and raids. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate that. Keeping an eye out for me. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Oh, look at this dude over here with his Rumble rant, you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this glowy box. What a cool kid. All right. As is my usual wont, y'all, I'm going to be holding forth for stretches here tonight. And I'm going to be missing, therefore, chat. I'm going to be locked in doing this thing. So I would be grateful if you guys would welcome any new joins that perhaps sneak in that I won't be able to see. Be grateful if you guys would direct them to resources or answers if they're lost or confused or whatever else. I know that that's pulling double duty. I know that a bunch of you guys are going to be taking this quite seriously and locked in on the material itself, and that to ask of you to then also pay attention to whatever's happening in chat, I recognize the difficulty in this. It's the reason that I can't look at chat whilst I'm lecturing, because I distract massively and super easily, and therefore I miss everything. And if I do see chat, I distract and I blow it on whatever flow I'm in, and I lose the plot, and that is no good whilst lecturing. That once upon a time was me, and every single one of those streams, looking back, is just a nightmare hodgepodge of me losing my train of thought because I read every single chat, every single question. Now, that said, if you do have questions related to tonight's talk, or questions related to relationships broadly, maybe they don't have to do specifically with tonight's material, which will focus on singleness, because we are doing single to married and everything between, okay? In this series, the Masterclass. But I will be addressing at the end of each section, okay? At the end of singleness, I will be answering all the questions that pertain to singleness submitted by you guys. There is a questionnaire that you can put in. There's a command that pops in. Thank you very much for dropping the link. I appreciate you. There it is, right there. The Notion board, the link for that. Okay, that will take you to an anonymous place to submit questions. As many as you like. You just keep submitting it over and over again, okay? Add a new question. There's no identifiers on you. You don't have to have an account. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just follow that link and you can put in whatever relationship-related question you've got. Singleness, dating, married, whatever. Anywhere in there, okay? And it will be my aim to answer all of those questions, either as naturally as a matter of course, going through the material, or explicitly once I get to the end and I haven't addressed it, I will go back and tackle everybody's submitted questions. So whatever questions you've got, specific, vague, whatever, I submit them. Submit them in there, okay? So yes, while I will not be able to field your questions live in the middle of lecture, I will be getting to them as we progress through the series, okay? Because I know you guys are going through unique stuff, and if you've got questions that I miss or whatever, ask them. If they're important to you, they're important to me, okay? Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to put a personal identifier in there or anything. You don't have to, please don't. And in any case, I will be mixing some of the questions' language that are similar anyhow to make even more vague, so that there's no like, who could this be? Like, it's gonna be, nobody's gonna know. Okay, so you're totally anonymous. I can't see who it is. I have no idea who has submitted the questions thus far. And we've got an interesting range of questions so far. What's wild is there's really only overlap between a couple of them. A lot of like distinct questions. So quite the range. So don't be afraid. Don't be worried that your question might be dumb. There's no such thing. You know, no such thing. Plus, again, I don't know who submitted it. So no one can point you out as dumb. No one knows to out you. All right. I'm stalling. Okay. Did you sneak a disappointment pack in there? Oh my gosh. The other thing is, I will not be seeing chat, which means I won't be seeing redeems. So don't throw your points away when I can't see the screen. Mel snuck it in there before I cover up my chat. Snuck it in. All right. Whatever the redeem is, sorry. Not gonna see them. Can't see chat. Don't know what it is. Dead now. Wait, that's not true. I can sort of... Oh, wait. Probably get an idea of who asked based on how it was asked. Not really, Caleb. There are a couple questions that I'm like, who the heck is this? I actually tried that. I'm like, whose circumstance does this match? Whose life does this match? And I don't know everybody. Like, sure, if I know you really well and I've read a bunch of stuff that you've written, sure, if I know how you communicate, sure, maybe. But I don't have any of that so far. None of the questions submitted so far am I like, yes, this is so-and-so. They're all a mystery to me. All of them. One of them really puzzles me. I'm like, is this person brand new or they just don't ever communicate? Because I don't know who this could possibly pertain to. I'm sitting there scratching my head like, that's what's happening. So okay, all right, we're locked in. Can't see chat. Can't see it. Can't do it. The lecture begins. Gang, again, I'm grateful to have you guys in for this most important thing, our bedrock, our foundation for where all we go from here. In the Relationships Masterclass. We had our preamble last week, our prelude to the rest of this, and now, Singleness, Part 1. Thank you for being here. So from singleness to marriage. This is how to do singleness right. Which of course implies that there is a right way to do this. And of course that means there's also a wrong way to do this. So, yep. My boilerplate, as usual. I'm not a licensed whatever. Just some guy in a tie who knows a thing or three and has spent countless hours studying all of this with intentionality and sitting at the feet of others, those giants who've gone before me, and know more things or three. So, as ever, your mileage may vary. I invite you to investigate these things yourself, and you'll see that I am presenting them to you in good faith, in hopes that I serve you well. Okay. A friend of mine tells this story that I absolutely love. Goes back a long time. I've heard it. I don't even know how many times I've heard this story. It says, when I was a kid, I traveled a lot for Christmas. Okay? Family was split up geographically, and so it was 2 different grandmas and then home. Okay? There's country grandma out in the sticks, and then the city grandma, you know, and then there's like home in the middle. Okay, grow up. Best gifts, always at our house. That's where Santa came, you know, obviously. Best gifts are there. The gifts from country grandma were always weird. Like sweaters, you know, like handmade sweaters and other like odd gifts and things. Like, oh, another craft from grandma. Okay, all right. Then city grandma always gave amazing gifts. Okay, electronics and like solid toys and stuff, like legit. Okay, good job. Good job, city grandma. Well, one year, the script was flipped. Okay, one year the script was flipped. Went to country grandma. Okay, off we go, and it's like, all right, well, another round of like weird gifts from country grandma, and she gave a slingshot. I got a slingshot. All right, from country grandma, not some dinky little wooden like. No, this thing is made of titanium. All right, if you guys haven't had a slingshot like this, if you've never seen a slingshot like this, it would change your life. All right, this thing's made of titanium. It's got a drop-down forearm brace for increased leverage, maximum leverage. All right, it's got surgical tubing for a sling. Like, this thing is legit, all right? It comes packaged with steel balls, and the packaging has little pictures of the little woodland critters that you're expected to kill using this weapon. This weapon of war, okay? This device, this incredible machine, okay? This thing breaks fence boards. If country grandma, the rationale the thinking goes, if country grandma's hitting this hard right out of the gate here, city grandma is going to be next level, okay? Line it up. This is going to be nuts. So imagine mine and my siblings' surprise when we get to city grandma's house and she gives us pieces of paper. Pieces of paper. What if you are now the proud owner of 100 shares of XYZ stock. The adults could see that we kids were confused by this, so they started to try to explain what it was. You see, kids, stocks are kind of like money, but you can't spend it. And maybe, in time, it'll be worth more money. Okay. What is it? What the all right. We left, needless to say, city grandmas very disappointed. Okay? Very disappointed. Fast forward a couple of months, and I'm hanging out in the backyard with my friends. Brother's grounded and confined to his room, a fairly common occurrence for him in our household. Little shit. And all of a sudden, pennies start snapping by my ears. Okay? Just whizzing by. Apparently, my brother had snatched my slingshot and was shooting pennies at me from up in his bedroom window. Okay? And this slingshot, again, is no joke. All right? Again, forearm brace, surgical tubing. One of the pennies connects, okay, just right across the arm there. Actually draws blood. Okay? This thing is like no joke. This is a weapon, right? So he gets even more trouble, right? Mom gets him in more trouble, confiscates the stolen slingshot from him, returns it to me, its rightful owner. Okay. I head out into the yard, mad, to take out some of my frustration on breaking fence boards, because breaking things is how young boys do that. And some older boys too, but in particular the young boys. And so I load up a rock and pull back to shoot stuff, and the surgical tubing, if you guys are not familiar with these, it wears out over time, especially if it's left in the sun, but a repeated exposure, like a rubber band, it forms cracks over time. And so let this be a warning to you guys, any of you who have such a device, or give it to your children, that this will indeed happen inevitably. So the tubing snaps, and it whips across, grabs my other arm, and draws blood there, okay? So I'm sitting there like, why, God, why? Just bleeding out of both arms, okay? This toy, this gift, that portended so much joy, ended up bringing nothing but sadness and pain. Fast forward, like 15 years, I'm at college. I'm getting a tour around some of the service areas, and there's this table with a big mound of bags of, like, sliced bread on it, all right? It's like, what? And I asked the person who's, like, giving this tour. Is this like a bread distribution for the homeless? Or like, what's this? Like, is this some kind of sort of gathering things, food pantry or some such? And the guy's like, what? No, that's for students. This place ain't cheap. Look, a lot of the students can barely afford to like eat on top of everything else they got to pay for around here. So no, this is a community donation that comes in for the students here. And like students are like hearing this and they're like rushing the table like, oh, I need bread. Oh dear God, I need food. And it's like the bread, God, people are finding it, stuffing it in their bags. Okay. Just plundering the pile of bread. So I was like, okay, I make my way over to the financial aid office. The next step in this whole thing. And there's this line of kids standing there, all of just miserable, right? Everybody's like 18 years old, 19 years old, standing there like donating plasma. Please, more time. Like, college ain't cheap, y'all. College ain't cheap. It's a ridiculous mess. And it's a bit of a scam, but talk for another day, okay? Everybody, just mountains of debt. Mountains of misery. Everybody going in. Give me the student loan, baby. Sign me up for decades of upsetness and misery. All right, let me sign me up. Then I get up to the counter, pull out my portfolio, and after 15 good years, my 100 shares of XYZ stock are now paying for my college education. And suddenly, he who was less than blessed was singing the praises of City Grandma. So, why tell you that? For this reason. What we want is not always what's best for us. And what's best for us, we don't always desire or appreciate. Why did a 7-year-old not appreciate the gift of stock? Ignorance. Don't know what it was. All right, sure. And it took someone loving and wise to give a gift like that, even though they knew it wouldn't be appreciated at the time. I don't know what that was. Okay. Had to check. Now, I'm going to go through the pages of history here in talking about our relationships. And one of the oldest texts we have, namely Paul in the Bible, explicitly calls singleness a gift from God. And for some of us, for some of y'all, okay, some of us through our lives, and for some of y'all here listening now, that's not really a gift you want. Okay? It's like, oh, you got me something. Oh, what is? Oh, singleness. Oh, thanks, Dad. Like that's not really what I was looking for. I'm not interested in this particular gift. Thank you very much. So why? You might rightly ask. You might fairly ask. Why would he inflict this gift upon me if my desire is to be in a relationship? We are each of us born into a season of singleness. Okay? And for some of us, each of us go into this thing, for some of us, that'll be shorter. For some of us, it'll last longer. And for some folks, it'll last your whole lives. Some, you may just die young. Some may die old, but you never paired off. Okay? But if it's true, propositional statement, if it's true that singleness is a gift, we should at least ask the question, how? In what way? In what way is this a gift? Well, if I return to that same part of the Bible that calls it a gift, it tells us. It says, in quotes here, to promote what is appropriate and to secure an undistracted devotion, in this case, to the Lord. Okay? Now, if you've done your research and your worldview is a Christian one, this will all make sense. Okay, and then you track into that. Okay, if not, this still applies. Don't miss this. If you're human, you will experience singleness, which means how we conduct ourselves during this season matters. Because, everything else will follow. The implications are, as the foundation for the rest of your life, as I've called it for this project, for this series, for the Masterclass, your singleness matters. and it has implications for everything else. And so, we ought take this season seriously. Namely, there are things that you simply cannot do once hitched that you could easily do while single. But I'll get more into that in a bit. First, let's examine those two supposed purposes for this season. Okay? The first part of that was to promote what is appropriate. What does that mean? What do you mean when you say something is appropriate? What's the word we're after here? What do you mean appropriate, okay? We say something is appropriate, definitionally, when it fits the current context. Okay? There's our definition. Something is appropriate when it fits the current context. It's a well-played, well-executed response to a given moment. We would call something inappropriate when it doesn't fit the context. Like a swimsuit at a wedding. Okay? Is there anything wrong with swimsuits? No. Swimsuit to a wedding, though, inappropriate. Why? It doesn't match the moment. Conversely, if you're at a beach wedding and everybody is expected to be in bathing suits, it would be appropriate wearing a suit when the attire is bathing attire. Inappropriate. You see? Doesn't match the moment. Now, there are things that I can say to Hot Bride that are good and affirming and life-giving and rich and loving and appropriate for me to say to her as her husband. But if one of you gentlemen says them to her, we gotta fight. It's the law. Inappropriate. So what does appropriate mean in the context of singleness? What's our takeaway from this one? We're supposed to take this time to develop a worldview and lifestyle that fit the moment we're in our lives. What moment? 1, our moment in the timeline of history, the arc of history. And 2, our moment in our personal timeline. Those two things, okay? Our moment in the timeline of history, the arc of history, and our moment in our personal timeline. Let me explain. What do I mean by the first part? What do I mean by the first one? Okay, our moment in the timeline of history, big, broad, macro thing here. I mean that our choices in life ought to be shaped by the timeline we find ourselves in. Say you feel really strongly that you were put on this earth to eradicate natural instances or occurrences of smallpox in the world. Well, I've got good and bad news for you. Say you have super strong convictions that you should be the one to perform the first manned flight across the Atlantic. Again, some bearer of bad news. First human in space. Maybe you want to be the one to end the transatlantic slave trade. Noble. Point here is what you ought to spend your life on is, in part, a function of what chunk of the timeline you're in. That's just basic logistics, but it's a consideration nonetheless. So what's happening in the world today, my question for you, that impacts your part of the timeline? You may have felt that smallpox was your calling, but since that one's already covered, you might bring that same passion and brain juice to bear against other disease strains that aren't yet solved. And since cross-oceanic flights aren't exactly the boundary-pushing feats they once were, perhaps you don't have to go too far to see that there's still more to discover out there in the world or in nature. The ocean depths that are yet unexplored, perhaps? Space? What's happening with the development of so-called AI? Might you have skills and inclinations whereby you could play a part on that frontier? You might not be the first one to space, but might you be interested in establishing the lunar colony that we're building? Mars? A mining colony? in the asteroid belt, real-life belter. And if you are passionate about the evil of slavery, quit complaining about the history of places that have already outlawed it. How about you instead turn your attention to the fact that it is still legal in many countries around the world today? How about turning all that care into action in a world that today has more slaves than ever before in recorded history, many of which are sex slaves, many of which are children? You can have a pity party for what you missed. Or you can ask the question, what might I put my effort behind that's appropriate? Not for someone else's timeline, but for yours. So that's the first part. So what about the second part? If we're supposed to take this time to develop a worldview and a lifestyle that fit the moment we're in, and the first has to do with what timeline we're born into, what's the second one? It's that what's appropriate for your behavior, as it pertains to relationships specifically here, ought be influenced by where you are on your personal timeline. Let's say, as an example, a simple working example. This might not describe you perfectly, but you'll be able to follow along easily enough. I suspect you'll catch what I'm after, okay? Let's just say, as a simple example we can work with, that you're a lady, you've decided you want to get married and have 4 kids. Yeah? Okay. Are you 15? Then you don't need to be fretting about that just yet, okay? Breathe. You're fine. You're 15. It's okay. You've got time yet to learn how to date, okay? Tune into the rest of the Masterclass if you are indeed in this season of your life, okay? If you're there. It's super okay if you don't yet know what you're doing and that you're making mistakes and you're still figuring stuff out. That's cool. The context that you're in says that's fine. I appreciate the goals and all of that, but you're 15. Breathe. It's all going to be okay. All right? All right. Are you 20? If you're not already married, you're likely still getting things settled in terms of where and how you want to live. You and many of your peers might still be sorting out career, life things. Okay. But at this point, you should have a solid handle on how to date. You should understand fully what is and is not acceptable behavior from prospective partners. And you should know what kind of partner you're looking for. Okay? Are you 25? Again, if you're not already married at this point, you should have a pretty serious lead on getting married. This means no more flings. What's our word here? Appropriate. And what was appropriate in your dating at 18, 19, or 20 is no longer appropriate for the moment you're in. Do you see it? Remember, the plan in this example, don't get too lost here, okay? But the plan in this example is we want to get married and have 4 kids. It's the plan, okay? If you're 25 and you don't have any serious prospects for marriage, your hope of that plan unfolding as you've imagined it is slipping away. Does that mean you're screwed and that your life is over? No. It just means exactly what I said. That your hope of that particular plan unfolding as you initially imagined it is slipping away. Nothing more, nothing less. Are you 30? Same thing. If you haven't already settled down and you yet hold out hope for a husband and 4 kids, what is appropriate in your dating practices will look very different from those of a 19-year-old. Do you see it? What is appropriate for one season of your life may not be appropriate for another, depending on your goals. I once heard it put another way for you sports ball fans out there. How much time is left on the clock ought influence how you play the game. Even I got that one. Okay. So that's the first one. That's what's appropriate. What's the second one of the purposes for this season? Number 2 here was as listed, as written, as prescribed, to secure an undistracted devotion to the Lord. I know. What does that even mean, Gus? I'm not in ministry. I'm not even a Christian. Okay, hold your horses. Hold your horses, okay? I promise this pertains to you. Sit tight. Let's break down this claim. So, undistracted. What are we on about here? This is saying specifically that there are things about relationships and marriage in particular that are distracting. Okay? Things that you don't have to be anxious about while you're single. When you're a single guy, you can do whatever you want with your time and money. Same goes for you ladies. But once you add another person to the mix, you will have anxieties that you didn't have before. A good chunk of your time and energy will now be spent fussing about how to please the other person in the relationship. Your interests and your attention will now be divided. Let me see if I can illustrate this with some of you here listening right now. Some of you are listening to this talk, and you're paying really close attention. And I'm grateful for that. Thank you. Some of you are actually, literally, physically taking notes or typing something out. Maybe you're clipping something. Okay. Maybe you're trying to absorb this information into your schema of understanding for the world. You're taking this stuff to heart. Okay. Some of you are actually doing the introspection that I encourage here and elsewhere as we go through this material. And some of you are sitting there doing that and reflecting over a nice glass of whiskey, maybe wine. Really soaking it all in. Maybe you're mulling it over a good cigar and really, really wrestling with some of this. And some of you are sitting next to someone cute. Maybe someone with some potential. Now, okay, given the medium we're in, you might not be sitting next to someone physically, but some of you are. I know that some of you are sitting next to somebody with whom you have designs. Okay? On whom you have designs. Right? Does our hands just touch? You're sitting there thinking, was that an accident? Did they do it on purpose? Okay. Beyond someone actually physically being next to you, you might have someone slide into your DMs right around now. Perhaps. Maybe someone liked something you posted. Maybe it was in the Mafia Discord. Maybe it was in one of our constellation of Discords that people here are a part of. Listen, all sorts of things happen on the interwebs. I don't know what's blowing up your noties right now. Maybe you're chit-chatting with someone. Maybe you're texting back and forth with a prospect right now. Maybe you're sitting there during our last Cosa Nostra Festa in our community. Like, oh, she's awfully cute. Wait, is she into me? She seems to be talking to me a lot. Wait a minute, is this happening right now? Is that, what did he mean by that? He texted me words. Does that mean he likes me? I can't know for sure. So you're anxiously texting your friends and asking, what does this mean? What are the clues? What are the hints? And you're distracted. You're distracted. And I know, I can hear it already. Gus, I am down. Okay, I'm down for that kind of distraction in my life. I want it. Sign me up. Where do we put our names on the thing? I want this kind of distraction. That's the one that I want. Thank you very much. Sign me up for this distraction, Gus. Look. There are things about being in a relationship that you single people simply do not understand. You have all sorts of notions about what I mean when I say, please the other person. Some of you jumped to lifestyle, sort of living things, activities, and so forth. Some of you jumped to sexual ideations. Well, I hate to be the one to tell you this, and I say this with absolute certainty. What you have in mind for this will, without exception, differ from what your partner has in mind. What your future, someday, hopeful partner has in mind. There will be things you're faced with in relationship that you're excited to tackle alongside your partner, but when you turn to them, you will find that they've sprinted the opposite direction. There will be activities you think would be just magical between you two, but when you propose them, when you put those ideas forth, they'll look at you like you've grown a second nose. From the perspective of singleness, you might have romantic notions about what time spent together will look like. And let me tell you, most of those will not play out as you've imagined them. And what's more, it'll irritate you that they don't see the romance like you do. Everything will now cost more. Life ain't cheap already, and it's exponentially more expensive when you add another person to the mix, okay? So now you'll have to work more to earn more, okay? And adding insult to injury, that means you will probably move up in an income bracket, which means here in the States you will be taxed more and punished more for your productivity. And then, insult on top of insult, you will have to spend those extra earnings on what they perhaps want, on things you don't like or want. And that's all before kids. Okay? Hot Bride and I have stories of friends that I went to college with, all right? We used to camp a bunch. We used to camp with these folks all the time. It's like a normal sort of thing. And then they had kids. So imagine our surprise. Last handful of times we go camping with them. We're like, all right, we'll meet you up there, baby. We're going to meet on this day up at the lake. We're going to go to this place. All right, got the campground, got the whatever. We'll see you guys then. We show up. We get there. We just tuck a couple things in the car really fast. Double, triple check everything. We got snacks. Yeah, I guess we're locked in. Whatever else. All right, off we go. The end. Took 2 seconds. We get there. Another friend who's single, same thing, shows up. 2 seconds. We're ready. We're locked, loaded. We're camping, baby. Let's get them tents set up. And we'll wait. We'll wait. No cell reception up where we are. So kind of waiting to see, like, where's our friends? Where's everybody else? What's going on? Time passes. No signal. No nothing. We're like, well, we gotta hike and stuff. We gotta go. Like, we can't just hang out here for forever. Maybe we leave a note for him? I don't know. All right. Well, what if we drive down to a little place where there's like reception and we try and reach out and try and make contact. All right. They're on their way. Okay, great. Gonna be late? Not today? Tomorrow? We're only here for a weekend. We're only here for 2 nights. Friday night and Saturday night. We've all got work on Monday. You know, we gotta get back there, baby. So we were here on Friday. No, okay, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, all right, tomorrow it is. So we spend the day up there, and then, hey, where are you guys? They're not there. And they show up in the evening, Saturday evening, just before dark, twilight, magic hour. Hey, it's good to see you guys. Kids come tumbling out of the car. Dog comes running. All right. Cool. They look very tired, very exhausted, and we help them. Hey, it's good to see you guys. Hugs all around. Let's get your tent stuff set up and everything like that. Okay, cool. Hey, I'm glad to have you guys here. Nope, they're exhausted. It's time for bed. Oh, we kind of wanted to hang out and chit chat around the fire. No, can't hang around, chit chat around the fire. No, can't do that. Exhausting, and the kids are fussy and everything else. So now it's been a very long day. So off to bed we go. Oh, okay. Well, we'll chat in the morning then. That's cool. We'll chat in the morning. Morning comes around. Oh, they're leaving. Gotta pack everything up. Time to go home. What? Yeah, you know, so-and-so's got a rash and this and that, and this thing has to happen with the... All right, oh, okay. Well, it was good to see you guys. We'll help you pack everything up again, and off you go. Good hugs all around. Dude, what happened? Well, we had to pack up this, and we got to do that, and she had this problem, and he wouldn't do that, and everything takes so much longer. We just threw our stuff in the car and off we went. We threw a couple changes of clothes in a bag and off, there we go, baby. We got boxes of like camp ready stuff. Just grab them in the car. There we go, baby. You add kids to the mix. Nah, I don't have kids. I haven't experienced this firsthand, but I have seen this secondhand many times, and I have heard all of y'all's accounts a lot, okay? Everything takes so much longer. Y'all are encumbered. A trip to the store that used to take you 15 minutes as a single dude, okay? Forget kids for a second. Forget just taking them on a trip. There and back, 15 minutes. Now, that's a 2-hour ordeal that involves baths, okay? Getting dressed, putting on shoes, car seats, snacks, water, diaper bags, whining, crying, and blowouts in the shopping cart so that you need to go find a store employee and ask them if they have any Clorox wipes or something like that. And you're so sorry, and I'm so sorry for all of the crying, and I just... Gotta go into the bathroom and the changing table and all of the... But you gotta leave your card out to the other kid. When you're single, you can go anywhere and do anything anytime you like. Not so for the married man. Not so for the married among us. Every action in your life must now take the other person into account. You must now consider the other. You want to run to the store real quick? Just grab the keys and go, right? Nope. You need to check with them to see if there's anything they need while you're out. You want to go grab coffee or a treat for yourself? Maybe reward yourself for surviving a tough work day or something like that? Nope. Now, you'll need to negotiate whether or not to get them a treat while you're out. Do I surprise them with this thing? That seems like... But what if they're on a diet? What if you're on a diet or you're supposed to be on a diet? Do you hide it? Do you sneak a treat for yourself and eat or drink it without them knowing, okay? And then you hide the evidence. You gotta have it out somewhere. You like eat this thing in the garage. I know people who've done this. You eat your snack out in the garage and throw it straight in the big trash can so they can't find it, okay? What about the cost? What about the cost of things? What was a quick trip to grab one thing just doubled in price, at least. What if y'all are supposed to be on a budget? That money is spoken for. No treat for you. Do you try and sneak it anyways? A perfect example of this shifted dynamic is when y'all ask me about TV shows or movies. Hey, Gus, have you seen this? You quote this movie. I don't know what that is. Well, surely you've seen this. And no, I don't know what that is. And you watch this show? Oh, it's super good. No, I haven't seen that show. What about this show? No, I haven't seen that one either. And you go, what? What do you mean? It's such a good show. How haven't you seen it? Everybody else has seen it. And my response every single time, those of you who've been around have heard me say it's my response, I work 80 hours a week at least. And that's, incidentally, aside from time spent with Hot Bride, or doing chores, or working on the house projects, or whatever else, okay? I have like 20 minutes of discretionary time each day. No, I haven't seen the new show. And I have to laugh when I tell people this, because especially, this happens both online, happens IRL, okay? I laugh at the puzzled look I get in response from the single people. Okay, each time I say this, I can see the numbers and formulas, spilling out of your head as you run the calculations, the puzzled look on your face of how many hours are in a week, right? I laugh because I get it. I used to have that kind of time too. I used to be you. I used to be in your shoes. Okay, I too used to wake up, game for 14 hours, and then go to sleep. But those days are over, baby. Do you see it? Now, okay, before you run screaming away from any and all relationships, okay, let me clarify. I adore my life with Hot Bride. And I adore being married. And I'm hopeful that we can someday have kids. I would not trade this season for any other. I would not go back to singleness by choice. Knowing all of that, I would not go back. I merely want to make clear something that some of y'all insist on ignoring. What you want is not what you're picturing. Here's how a mentor once put it. There's a tendency in every one of us to downplay the benefits of their stage in life and amplify the benefits of another. The single person pines away for the intimacy of the married season of life. The married man or woman romanticizes the freedoms they enjoyed as a single person. I do not want you to do that. I don't want you to miss out on what you have access to in your single years that you will not have when you're married. I don't want you to miss the benefits of now because you're fixated on the benefits of then. What you have now is freedom and time. These are resources granted to you when you are single that will diminish over time. You have more freedom and more time than any other kind of person on the planet. Children don't have the kind of freedom you do. Old people don't have your level of freedom. Married people don't either. You, the single person, have an unprecedented amount of discretionary time in this fast dwindling season that you are in right now. It is freedom with a purpose. Not to fill it with distractions, but to pursue something meaningful. What's that? To pursue truth. So I'm going to challenge some of you. I'm going to challenge some of you who are sitting there pining for the relationship you hope to someday have. There's nothing wrong with that desire. It's healthy and it's good. But if you let that desire sap you of all the joy that's available to you in your singleness, you are letting something pass you by that you cannot recover later. Don't miss out on today because you're impatient for tomorrow. What was the second posit about the purpose of singleness again? To secure an undistracted devotion to the Lord. If you do enter into a relationship and put a ring on it, for the rest of your life, you will be distracted. You will never again have the freedom and flexibility you have now to plumb, unencumbered, the depths of life. Put another way, and if you're the note-taking type, this might be important. Singleness is the opportunity to cement who we are, what we believe, and what we pursue prior to adding another human to the equation. When someone asks, "Who are you?" how do you answer? Who are you? That is the purpose of tonight. That is the purpose of this talk. That is the question you must answer while you're yet single. I submit to you here that if you listening are single, or if you have kids who are single and they're going to be entering the dating scene, or if you have friends who are single who are entering the or you have grandkids, everybody knows single people, okay? I submit to you that every successful relationship must begin with, who am I? Notice I said successful relationship. This is the season of your life, the only season of your life, where you have the opportunity to get this right, to figure out who you are, what you're about, what you believe, and what you'll pursue. This is it. You'll not have another chance. Not like the one you have now. So use this season for its intended purpose. Pursue truth. What is truth? For the rest of your life, you will be distracted by all manner of things. You will not have time to philosophize, to muse, to meditate, to reflect, to think. As I said, to plumb the depths of the human experience and human understanding. You will not get this chance again. This is it. You say, I don't have a worldview. Yes, you do. It informs everything that you do. It informs how you think, how you act, how you behave toward your fellow man, what kind of policies you would institute if given your druthers, how you think the world ought to operate. All of that is your worldview. I'm not a religious sort. I never said you were. That is your worldview, though. It informs all that you do. How developed is your worldview? How thought through is it? This is something that's going to inform the rest of your life. Everything about it. How much time have you given to this? You say, oh yeah, some people think that this is important, and yeah, maybe it might be. Maybe it might be. How do you know? Have you looked? Have you spent any time on it? Or have you doom scrolled your way through your singleness? Have you thrown it all away? I heard a statistic that the average young person has the average young person has 10,000 hours of gaming under their belt by the time they reach 20 years old. Now, that's a statistic from a handful of years ago. It's probably gone up. I'm a gamer. I'm not telling you not to be a gamer. But 5,000 hours is how many hours it's supposed to take to get a bachelor's degree. Now, I'm not advocating, incidentally, that you pursue higher education in anything. Again, talk for a different time, but largely that's going to be a waste of time. What have you spent your singleness on? Do you understand life yet? Gus, I'm only 30. You can very easily have your worldview figured out and with solid understanding and solid rationale and solid defenses and solid ground to stand on for rationale, for think. Yes, I've thought it through. Yes, I've submitted my thinking to critical analysis and the critiques of others. Yeah, I've done all that. You can do that by 18. Certainly by 19, 20, certainly by 25. Gus, I'm only 30. I don't understand any of this stuff. Do you know how many hours you've been alive up till now? A lot. You will never have a season like this again. Gus, I'll figure that out later. After. No, you won't. No, you won't. You will list through life now. Misinformed, uninformed, lost, confused, bitter. You will not get this chance again to figure out, who are you? What do you believe? What will you pursue? What is worth pursuing? Is it one of the systems, religious or otherwise, that you've heard about? How would you know if you've never looked into it? This is the only time you have to do that. Undistracted. And the Christian worldview that is spoken to by this thing, Paul says, that's what singleness is for. To secure an undistracted devotion to. Okay? That means like a close caring. Okay? It's like a combination of two words. A close and being next to. There's a level of attentiveness and care in the word here. Devotion to. What will you devote yourself to? Oh, it'll be this other person. It's an awful lot of weight for another person to carry. We'll talk about that more next week. This person? You're gonna hang all your hopes and dreams on them, huh? This fellow screw up? Interesting. Interesting choice. Not very well thought out. What else you got? What is worthy of you? What is real? Have you ever looked? Have you ever thought about it? That's what singleness is for. And I submit to you that if you are discontented or bitter in your singleness, it may be because you're missing the point of why you are single. If what you're pursuing with the unique and never to be had again freedom of your singleness is unworthy, it should not surprise you that you feel empty, aimless, or frustrated. This is the meaning of this season of your life. You are meant to pursue, let's put some language to it. You are meant to pursue the highest conceivable good in life. With your time, your talents, and your energy. You are to use this season to discover what actually matters in life. Not just in your life, in life. You are to do your due diligence in learning which things in life are worth your time, worth your life. Because ultimately, whatever you pursue, whatever it is you decide to pursue, worthy or otherwise, will come at the cost of your life. Listen, I know many of you tuned into this talk expecting to hear, leave her a nice note on the mirror in the morning. That's true love. Or be sure to compliment the muscles he's been working on to validate his hard work. That's how he'll know he's in a good relationship with someone who cares. But I'm not interested in giving you vapid, cheap advice that's as disposable as the TikTok accounts you will hear that all from. If you are actually interested, this is not a rhetorical. If you are actually interested in having a fulfilling life, regardless of which season of relationship you're in, then this is the talk you need to hear. And if you do just want the cheap, disposable relationships that you see all around you, then by all means, check out. But if you do, you will have lost the right to ever complain about your life ever again. You will have had the solutions offered up to you on a silver platter, and if you choose to swat it away, then you have chosen misery. It's not life's unfair, or it's not why is life so mean to me. Forevermore in your life, it will be, I chose this. I chose misery. Singleness is the opportunity to cement who we are, what we believe, and what we pursue prior to adding another human to the equation. Remember also, the context of answering this question has to do with the first point that we talked about tonight, okay? In the timeline of history, for this moment in history, right? this moment, this part in the spectrum of humanity's existence, what ought I pursue? What is appropriate for this time on the timeline? Okay? What is the highest good that you can pursue in your life here? None of you are strangers to this question, incidentally. You've each wondered, what am I supposed to do with my life? But I suspect more of you than not work diligently instead to avoid this question, whenever and wherever, however possible. Someone asks you a question about your future plans. You squirm and then you change the topic. Or maybe you get mad. Maybe you tell off the person asking, warning them to mind their own business. But those are defense mechanisms. Mechanisms that you've likely used as a crutch for far too long, my friend. Listen, I know this is scary. I understand. I understand that this is scary. I understand that you just want to be left alone. I know that life is hard and that you're just trying to make it by. I know that you think that big questions like these are just fingers pointed in your face, condemning you and your choices up till now, yeah? But they're not. That's not what my questions are. This is not me putting a finger in your face, condemning you or your decisions or your actions. I love you. And I want for your thriving. Don't be discouraged if you don't have an answer to the question, what am I supposed to do with my life? Past Gus? Younger Gus? All the way up to college age Gus? He didn't have an answer. It's not the end of the world if you don't have an answer today. But you do need to get a hold on an answer before entering into relationship with another person. What is the highest good that you could spend your most valuable resource, time, pursuing? Answering questions like these, that's what we're doing here in this community. That's what the Mafia community is purposed with. We're not here just to play video games, though we do. That's part of doing life. But it's not everything. We're doing life together in community. We're sharing with one another. We're experiencing things together. We celebrate the highs with one another. We commiserate in the lows. We experience that misery together often. We struggle together. That's what real community is. Other communities that you've no doubt seen or been a part of or maybe have now been excommunicated from are, you can be here so long as you've that there's nothing about you that anyone finds difficult or problematic. Otherwise, welcome. So long as you don't mess up royally, so long as you don't say the wrong thing, so long as you're not a screw up. Sound familiar? Boy, are those folks in for a surprise when they find out, huh? Surprise! Every single person in every single Discord community and every single social community of any kind, regardless of medium, is a screw-up. You're in good company. We are in good company. We're all misfits. We are all of us disappointments. Me chief among them. You're talking to the disappointment in chief. I've let you guys down before, and unfortunately I will let you down again. It's not a threat, it's a promise. It's one that I wish I wouldn't keep. It's one that I wish was a fib. It's one that I wish I could somehow escape or evade, but you know what? I can't. I, like you, am human. And I love you. I'm not here to point fingers. Look at that idiot who got it all wrong. Look at the loser with the broken relationship. I'm here because I love you. And I want for your very best. I want for your joy. I want for your peace. For the folks who might not know much about our community, the Mafia, let me make something clear. This community, as I said, is purposed with doing life together with intentionality and purpose. And that includes all facets of life, from the silly to the serious. We host digital block parties, the next of which is tomorrow, incidentally. People host movie nights. We do a ton of gaming. And we have no shortage of memes. There's levity in life, and we do not eschew it. For there's more to life than just the seriousness. But there's also more to life than just the silliness. There is seriousness that we do need to face. For each and every one of us, hear me on this. For each and every one of us, it is unbecoming to say, I will partake only in the fun. I will remain a child at heart and in mind. Good vibes only. There are pursuits that are appropriate for your life generally, and there are pursuits that are appropriate for this particular season of your life. And that means that there are questions that are appropriate to ask about your life. Namely, who am I? What do I believe? And what will I pursue? And as for that last one, it's missing the spirit of the question to reduce it down to what will I earn a paycheck doing? What career will I enter into? That's not it. So to emphasize the importance of that particular one, it'd be more aptly put, what will I spend me pursuing? Because ultimately that is exactly what you're doing. Your most valuable resource is your time. You've heard it said by me already tonight and 1,000 times before, and it's true. Your most valuable asset, and it's diminishing day by day, is you. We will each of us meet our end in one fashion or another, some sooner, some later. The only guarantee is that we don't have an infinite amount of it. So the question is, what will you spend you pursuing? That is the currency being exchanged here. Hence the emphasis on the purpose of this season of singleness. You need to find out what is worthy of you. Because it's going to cost you. Now, if you're like, oh, we were talking about relationships, guys, and dating, and this took an unexpected turn. I thought we were going to be covering how to talk to cute girls or cute guys. Singleness is discussing you. Every season of the relationship game, from single to married, singleness is about you. And before we can talk to the cute girl or the cute guy, we've got to get this right. You've got to get these questions answered first. Again, propositional if, you want to have a successful relationship. When any of you hear the term successful relationship, do you picture the people who are somehow still clinging on, though they hate each other, though there's no love there, though it's just going through the motions. Is that what you mean? When you say, boy, I really hope I have a successful relationship in my life. Is that what you picture? Because I know some of you are playing mind games. I know some of you are playing word games here. What is a successful relationship, Gus? You know exactly what a successful relationship is. And you know what one isn't. Don't play games. If you want to have a shot at the kind of relationship that you're picturing, that you dream about, the relationship you dream for, that you long for, that you hope to have, and indeed, that I can say with a straight face and not a drop of sarcasm or hyperbole here, that I have with the hot bride, then it takes getting this right up front. The cost is you're facing all of this today, before there's another person in the picture. What is the purpose of this season again? Singleness is the opportunity to cement who we are, what we believe, and what we pursue prior to adding another human to the equation. It stands to reason then that if you don't have your worldview sorted out, if you haven't yet answered who am I and what purpose do I serve, or to what will I dedicate my life, it stands to reason that you ought to figure that out before you onboard someone else. If for no other reason, and there are other reasons, but if for no other reasons, then for a pragmatic, practical one. If for no other reason, then it's because the person that you are agreeing to link arms with, that person is agreeing to link arms with you based on what they know about you. And what do they know about you? They say, oh yeah, I'll date them. Oh yeah, cool. Based on what? Based on what will they say yes? What they know. What they know of the other. Day comes, they kneel down, they propose, right? Put a ring on it, yeah, okay. What is he opting into by hitting one knee like that? And what is she agreeing to in response by replying yes to what has so far been put on the table? In the exploratory stage of the relationship called dating, which again we'll get to further down in the series, in that time you are each saying to each other, all right, here's what I got. Here's what I bring. And if a ring enters the picture, then whatever is known up to that point is what they're opting into. I've got a valuable picture for this. I've got a valuable illustration. I want you to follow me here. Picture this, okay? Relationship means linking arms with another person, okay? It's kind of like those three-legged races, you know? Two people standing together, and you bind the middle leg together, all right? You tie it up, okay? The reason those are so funny to watch is because it takes coordination and cooperation from both people in order to make even the tiniest bit of ground, okay? Like, any progress forward will require those things. And if they're not in sync, it's a disaster, and they fall, and it's a tangled up mess of body parts, okay? That's why they're funny. That's what relationship is. So, if you decide to bind your life together with another, you are doing so based on what you know about them, yeah? Now, say, as is the case for many, you haven't wrestled with the important questions that, again, singleness alone affords you the time and focus to do. Let's say you've lived a second adolescence right up into your 20s or 30s without ever answering those questions for yourself or your life. And this prospective partner of yours naively says, yeah, I agree to take on this person who has no idea who they are, what they want, no idea what they believe, and no idea what they want out of life. But they cute. Fine. Now you two decide to entwine your lives. What happens when and if, in a couple years, you do grow up? What if you change everything about who you are? You say, actually, you know what? I've decided I'm going to go this way. What? Babe, you said you were okay going this direction. Yeah, I didn't really know, though. Now I know a little bit better, and I want to go this way. You've misrepresented yourself. Maybe you're listless. Maybe you don't have your worldview sorted out. And therefore, your ideas of what is the highest good, what you're pursuing, maybe you don't have that sorted out yet, okay? And then you go, okay, yeah, I'm going to head off in this direction. And you're like, yeah, sure, whatever. You cute. If that's what's important to you, then it's important to me. By God, let's do it, yeah? Just be agreeable. Just go along. So you go with them. And a little ways down the line, you mature and you decide, actually, I don't know if that's best anymore. I've done my homework. I've done what Gus suggested. Done a lot of thinking, a lot of introspection. I've talked to some friends. I've done some thinking and some reading. I think I really ought to go this direction. They're still pulling that way. You're now going this way? You've created hardship in this relationship that wasn't there before. You've created friction in this relationship that wasn't there before. Don't miss this. Even if what you're pursuing over here is good. Even if this new pursuit of yours, this new direction of yours is categorically better. Maybe they didn't do their research. Maybe they are just listing through life. Maybe your partner is just kind of getting along to get along, just doing whatever comes naturally and, go with the flow. And who knows? Who cares? Just live the bohemian life of, what if they're doing that? And you actually, do some deep thinking. You actually do your homework. And you're like, yeah, it turns out that's not great. And this is categorically better. It doesn't matter. That's not what they signed on for. That's not what you represented when you stepped into that relationship, when you linked arms. You've now created strife. Congratulations. You now have a broken relationship. You marry this person, right? You say, you know what? Let's be drug addicts together. Huh? What if, hear me out here, we spend our lives pursuing meth. Yeah, doesn't that sound great? And so you go, yeah, whatever, babe, let's do it. Whoop, off we go. And you link arms and you head that away. And you, in a few years or months, whatever it is, you've lost all your teeth, and you decide, actually, no, I think I need to head this direction. Even if that's the right thing to do. Even if this is a good change. Even if it's a healthy change. Even if this is a beneficial change. You've got someone else in the picture now. And even if this change of direction would be for their good too. And this is probably the most heartbreaking thing. As I've said many times, countless times, in all the talks, in every community interaction that we've ever had, in so many contexts, we have control over exactly one person in this life. Who is it? Just me. Just one person, just the one in the mirror. Not this other person that you've linked arms with. But we linked arms, guys. No, we're not. They're still not you. And to expect them to be is, well, it's unfair and it's unrealistic. They're not you. They're another person. And you've linked arms, yes. You've joined these lives together, but they're still not you. You might change and say, I'm going to go pursue this thing. But now there's this strife that exists because maybe they don't want to follow you. Maybe they don't like this thing that you've found. Maybe they really want to keep going this direction, even though it's bad, even though it's damaging, even though it's hurtful, even though it's hurtful to you. They say, I'm not changing course. You will now have pain in your life that was not there before, and that wasn't inevitable. But let me submit to you, if you are in this situation, picture the exact same scenario, but you've not yet linked arms. You are still single. You are still in the evaluation phase of all of this. Hear me. That person says, I really want to pursue a life in crack. I really want that. Maybe it's meth, heroin, pick your poison. I really want that to be my life's goal. I'll chase that high. That's what I'm after. And you've got in your mind already, as a single person who's maybe figured some things out. Maybe you've spent some of your singleness figuring some things out. And you go, nah, my life goes this way. Ugh. Or maybe you don't have it all together and you've been down that road and you go, yeah, no, I've actually lived that a little bit. I've tried that. And yeah, I've made mistakes and I've done some dumb things, but I want to course correct now. And that's going to be in this direction. Ooh. Prospective partner, you appear to be going this way. I appear to be going this way. We're going opposite directions here. It might suck then to end that relationship. It might suck in the short term to say, I hate to see you go, but I'm going that way. But you haven't linked arms yet. You haven't yet joined lives. You haven't had kids yet. The time to decide which direction you're going to travel with your life is now. And not when there's another person. By then it's too late. Too late to avoid this messiness. Too late to avoid the pain. Now, sir, it's possible to recover from this. I've heard stories. I have heard stories both here in this community, and I have heard stories from people that I respect and I love, and the one that jumps out to me the most in my brain is one of my dear mentors with whom I have done life weekly for over a decade now. He's 86 years old. It is perhaps one of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever heard in my entire life. Neither of them had answered any of these questions. Neither of them knew what is worthy of their pursuit, of their time, of their effort, of their energies, of them, of their lives. Neither of them had that sorted out. They were directionless, listless. Little things here and there, career goals, shallow things that come and go. Okay? They had some of that, vague ideas of this would be nice. But neither of them had done any digging. Neither of them knew who they were, what they believe, or what is worth pursuing. None of them. Neither of them had that figured out. So then she does. His words, his story. And then she does figure life out. Then she does figure out what's worthy of her life. Then she does figure out her worldview. Then she does figure out her direction. She does answer the question, who am I? She does answer the question, what do I believe? She does answer the question, what is worthy of my life and my pursuit? She does all those things. And she says, this is the direction, this is it. And he says, nah. I'll climb into a bottle instead. And for 27 years, they were on a different page. While she diligently fought to win over her husband. While she diligently sought real intimacy and real relationship with her husband. While she diligently fought for the relationship that she knew they could have if he would figure some stuff out. If he would wake up. 27 years she did that. And then, in his words, he grew up. 27 years of marriage later, he said, I finally grew up. 27 years. Lost. "27 years. Some of you aren't even 27 years old. Some of us aren't that far over 27 years old. You could be pursuing great things with your time and your energy, which again is all that you have. Money comes, money goes. You have your time, you have your essence, you have you, which wears out. This thing breaks down. I don't know if you know that. Some of you know this very well. You don't have forever. You've got a limited window and it's fading fast. 27 years. You could be pursuing something important with zeal. You could be committing to it. You could be crushing it out there. Chase your highest good that you can conceive of. You could be pursuing that, but you're being held back. Because the person with whom you've linked arms decided, I think I'm just going to lay down here, actually. That person could be doing the same thing, pursuing what they believe to be the highest good, the highest conceivable good, worthy of their devotion. What they believe is worthy of their life, their essence, their energy. Again, all that they have. But instead, you guys are locked in a perpetual tug of war, and neither of you gets to do anything. Whatever help you are to the world, whatever cause you are behind, trying to further, you get to now make meager advances at best if you have any movement at all. Singleness is the season to figure out what you want to pursue, and then to pursue it. Because once you've linked arms with someone, it becomes massively inefficient to change course. When you're single, change course all day. Oh, actually, it's this. Ooh, I had it wrong. It's over here now. Ooh, no problem. With another person? Oh, it's simple. It's just one other person. No. This is not a simple 1 + 1 = 2. No. This is exponentially more complicated now. And now it's so much more inefficient. And now there's pain. Now there's grinding of gears. Now there's friction. Now your time, both of your time, is being wasted. Gang, this is as serious, right? This is as serious as any talk you will have heard or the married couples will hear from a marriage counselor, okay? You're fighting, you got kids, and you go to the therapist, and they talk about, oh, maybe do these exercises. You need to get this right now. Because it will save you, and whomever they might be, the other person with whom you're planning to link arms, whomever you might eventually link arms, it will save you, both of you, months, years, perhaps decades of heartache and inefficiency and wasted time. I get it. Being single sucks. But you know what is way worse than being single and lonely? Being married and miserable. every culture on Earth, including the one that gave this prescription, has some sort of idiom, okay? Some bit of wisdom literature that says it is better to be single and sad than married to an awful partner. And I suspect that those of you who are in abusive relationships, if you were somehow able to look past the Stockholm Syndrome, if you were somehow able to get a vantage point from outside the cycle of abuse that makes you cling to your abuser, I suspect that if you were intellectually and emotionally honest with yourself, you would agree. The season of singleness has a unique purpose. And my story, which you'll hear about in the next talk, may resemble some of you who are listening to me now. And that's because I was more afraid of ending up single than I was of ending up in a terrible relationship. That might be some of you, driven by fear. I looked back on singleness from within a bad relationship, and no, I'm not going back. No, you can't make me. I didn't know. I didn't understand. Singleness, it turns out, is a gift. I've wrestled with that notion. I wrestled with that notion for a very long time in my life, and now I'm convinced of it. I'm compelled to see the truth of it. Singleness is a gift. It might not be the one that you want, but it might be what someone who loves you and is wise enough to understand gives you, even though you don't now want it, even though you don't now appreciate it. Thank you. I know I ran late tonight. I know this ran longer than you were expecting. I wanted this one to be shorter, but there's a lot to say. There's much more to say. Some of you have questions, and rightfully so. Healthy questions, good questions. What does it look like then, Gus, to leverage your singleness? What could I do with this time? What practical things do you have for me, Gus? Yeah, you said this sucks and this is dumb. What else you got? What do you have for me? Ask those questions. I will revisit this. Use the form. Punch in exclamation point notion or relationships or whatever it is, and it'll pull up the form. You can submit your questions about relationships, okay? Questions about relationships or relationship adjacent questions. Submit them totally anonymously. I cannot see who submits them. Even if I want to, I have no idea. Submit your questions, and we will get to them. I've got more to say on singleness still, and it is possible that I will answer your specific question in due course as I cover the material. That's possible. But just in case, submit your questions so that I don't miss you. You matter. I said this in the course of my teaching tonight, but it bears repeating. I am not sitting here pointing my finger and condemning any of you who have blown it, who have messed this up, who have not been taking seriously this gift of singleness, who have not taken this period of your life, this season of your life that you don't get back seriously, who have missed the mark. I'm not here condemning any of you. I love you. And I will go through this with you because I love you. If I didn't, I wouldn't tell you these things. I want for your thriving. I want for your very best. I want you to have peace. There's so much more to say, and no time to say it. I want to be respectful of your guys' time. We will revisit singleness next week with, yes, some practical things. And yes, my story. I hope you'll consider setting an alarm. Set an alarm on your phone. 5 p.m. Pacific time. Next Friday, we're going to pick back up where we left off. I'm not going to raid out here tonight. We don't raid out after the seriousness. And in case anybody tried to raid in tonight, raids were disabled. By design. Raids are very exciting. I love raids. I'm super grateful for raids. Everybody out there who is like, I want to raid Gus on a Friday night. I appreciate it like crazy. Entrusting platforms, people to little old me. That means the world. It is a huge part of how this grows, right? How we reach more people, how we meet new people. Hopefully those of you who heard even a chunk of tonight will understand why that might have been a bit incongruous. The hype of a raid with what all we were doing here tonight. So on Friday nights, during the formal lecture, when you see the banner running along the bottom of the screen and all the rest of it, raids are disabled for that reason. And I must thank again all of you who did the hard thing of being here for this. There is more to come. There is more to come in the rest of this. I want to equip you guys with truth. I want to equip you guys with understanding. I want to equip you guys however I am able to do well, to manage wisely relationships, single to married and everything in between. This does encompass your entire life. It seems like an important thing to get right. I've spent no small amount of time putting together the Masterclass, and I hope that it is a Masterclass, an exhaustive one. I had several people who I have taught before and who know the material and all of this suggest that I charge for this course. I did not want to. I did not want to charge for this program. I did not want to charge for the Masterclass. I am told by consultants who do this sort of thing that I could charge hundreds of dollars for access to the course and all of that, and I don't want to. Yes, this business needs cash flow. Yes, this business needs financial support. Yes, it does. Else it will disappear, yes. But there are a great many of you who are not in a season financially to sacrifice for such things. And yet you need this. Just the same as I do, just the same as any one of us does. This is important for you too. So thank you to everybody who has decided to part with their hard-won dollars to support this project. Thank you to everybody who has clicked the Rumble Premium button, all of which goes directly to me, directly to the Mafia Project. It goes right back into running this business. Through coffee, through Patreon, whatever it is, they take much larger chunks nowadays. But thank you to everybody who has sacrificed to make this possible so that others might have access to it. Gang, we need to get this right. It's not hyperbole to say the world depends on it. Certainly your peace does. But I will get to next week how your peace actually has an outsized impact on the peace of others. What? Me? What is my life? More to come, dear friends. More to come. Tomorrow, I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow for the Cosa Nostra Festa. Our digital block party in the Discord. Links are in the usual place for the usual things. I won't insult your guys' intelligence. But the Festa is our low stakes medium, the lowest stakes medium, to meet people. Maybe make a friend, put some faces to names. Come and introduce yourself to me. If I haven't had the chance to meet you yet, I'm going to be coming and going throughout Saturday. All day tomorrow, okay? Coming and going. I hope I get to meet you. Jump into the Discord. Mix and mingle. Come between rooms. Come and go as you please. People will be doing so as they have breaks from work, break from stream, break from whatever else, okay? Break from this with kids, that. We're going to have people coming and going absolutely all day. So come hang out. Come meet some folks. Come say hi to me. I hope to get to meet. There's a good number of you guys that I haven't got to meet properly yet, and I'd love to. So I hope you'll come out. I hope you'll consider doing something hard, something that requires courage of you, yes. But it's a low stakes medium. No obligation, no commitment. You just come and go, okay? That's all. That's tomorrow. I'm still having my Just Chatting stream in the morning so that I can tell more people, hey, come on to the party. Okay, I'll be funneling people to you guys. Okay, so get there early. Stay as long as you like. Really looking forward to it. We do these quarterly. They're not an everyday thing. This is not a, just jump in the voice call, whatever sort of deal. These are quarterly, and this is the last one for this quarter, so we won't see another for a spell here. And I hope to see you guys then. Thank you guys again for bringing the courage necessary to go through something like this. That's no small thing, and I take it for granted not at all. So cheers to you, the remarkable sort who would choose, of all the places you could be on a Friday night, who would choose this place to do hard things, to choose purposeful, meaningful things. Cheers to you, that very sort. So, what will it look like? What will it look like in the days ahead? The hours ahead? What will it look like to do this hard mode business together alongside the remarkable men and women of the Mafia who've agreed to try to do the same? What does the rest of singleness hold? What about the dating that follows? Putting a ring on it. Come and see. Come and see. And as ever, I will strive to see that it's a decision that you don't regret. In the meantime, I wish for you each marvelous evenings, mornings, wherever ye be. And I will see you on the other side.